Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, all that fun stuff. It is Tuesday, March 24th, and this is the Infinite Crypto YouTube channel. Hope you guys are doing fantastic this morning. Let's get rolling. What's going on, everybody? Gonna get over here to the update screen, take a peek at the cryptocurrency markets. It looks like Bitcoin has decided to take a little dip on us over the last handful of hours. Man, when did this thing go all the way up to 75? Oh, it was March 17th. Okay, so it's been a while. If we just go out to the 24-hour chart, though, we can see here where we did pop all the way up to 71 before we ran down to 68, 69,000. Sorry, guys. I just realized my coffee is in the microwave. I'll be right back. Saved another $20 bill this morning. A bunch of weirdos here at the Varnell household. Somehow I wonder how I got to have a $20 a day coffee habit. Anyways, this doesn't look pretty, but as we mentioned yesterday, it is kind of doing what it's been doing. This is the channel that we talked a little bit about yesterday, where it's hanging out here ever since it dropped from this 94, 95, 96K level down into this ballpark. It's been kind of hanging out there now for a while. This was February 4th. So March 4th, March 24th, almost closing in on, 2 months, 50 days that we've been in this channel. How have you guys been? The last couple of live streams I've been doing all the talking. Obviously, you guys can't jump on and actually talk, but at the same time, how's it going? Dave, I see you are here. Good morning. Hope you are doing well. Anything new going on with you, Dave? And Nay and Jonah, good morning. Quick question. Either one of you doing anything? We're 3 months, almost 3 months into 2026 being over. Are you doing anything new to create passive income? And folks, that's for everybody watching here today. Like 2026 is the year that we're looking to try to create income streams to create freedom in our lives. So I know, Dave, you've been here for every episode this year. You got anything new going on in your life, Dave? Anything that you are earning any passive income from? And Nayan, if you want to speak up, that'd be great too. I don't know. Wouldn't surprise me if you guys got something going on. Would love to hear about it. I realized I made a key mistake about a month and a half ago when I mentioned doing the mastermind. And then I wanted you guys to reach out to me and give me some times that would work for you and all of that. And I think that was an error in judgment. I should just pick a day and a time. And those of you that are serious enough about it and that are excited enough about it and really want to be a part of that passive income mastermind will figure it out. Because after a month and a half, I haven't really gotten that much feedback from you guys. I've had a bunch of you raise your hand and say you'd be interested in coming, but none of you have really told me when it would be good for you. And my guess is probably if 5 or 10 of you tell me what time you want to come and what day, it'll be 10 different days and 10 different times too. So I don't know that it would help. I just want to create some synergy and make sure that there's at least, a nucleus, a group of 4 or 5 of us that are showing up on a regular, consistent basis. But I do want to get that rolling at some point in time. I think that would be very helpful to everybody. Mr. Sean Cryptoon 5. Every time I see your name, Sean, it reminds me of Maroon 5, the band. I don't know if that's a play on Maroon 5 at all, but that's what it reminds me of. Every time I see you in the live chat, Sean, I think of Maroon 5. I can never think of the name of the song, and I don't want to try to sing it here on live, but man, I can't even think of the words. I'm thinking of like the tune, but there's a Maroon 5 song that I used to like. I used to sing in my car all the time. Man, I can't. It's crazy. For some reason, I can't even think. I can't even think of a line. I was gonna tell you what song it was, but it's crazy. My mind doesn't want to remember. Like I can remember the song. Oh, oh, hey, cats. All right, guys. I'm really like discombobulated and not making a whole lot of sense today, am I? I think I just got so much going on in my mind that it's racing at 1,000 miles an hour, and it's really like trying to make a clear, articulate thought, and just can't think of anything smart to say. Like, you guys are here to hear some genius from old Varnell, and I'm like feeling like I don't have a whole lot of genius when it comes to this crypto market. I'm as confused as everybody. I mentioned it yesterday that I got half the world screaming in my ear that we're going down to 40 or 50K. I've got half the world screaming in my ear that we probably have bottomed out and that we're going to go sideways for a while longer and then potentially have an upswing come summertime. And I really just do not know, what's going to happen. Dave says, not much happening in the crypto world for me. I'm just trying to stay updated as much as possible, just waiting for the bottom, I guess. So, Dave, let me ask you, have you been thinking about any other ways to create passive income outside of the crypto world? Anything that, like when we're talking about coaching, courses, books, pamphlets, PDFs, like, something that should have thought about this probably sooner, but this book right here, and here we go. And what? So like these two books right here, you can't see them real well, but this one called Trash Man to Cash Man. This is literally a pretty small book. It's got big font, and it's only like 135 pages. The guy that wrote this book wrote it in 2006, and he's still making $60,000-$70,000 a year from this book. Another book I wanted to mention, like, so this book here is like even smaller, and it's literally, I probably should, but you can literally you can literally see with this book that it has a lot of pretty like small pages. I mean, you can flip through it. That's not the only page. Like, so literally this book here, and it's only 100 pages, not even quite 100 pages. So you don't have to write a full-length masterpiece novel to create a piece of literature that can, that can cash flow, that can make you money. And once again, one of the things that my mentor is really trying to beat into me is that everybody has something that is interesting to other people. Most of us would write a book, but every time we think about writing a book, we're like, who's going to want to read that? And my mentor continues to tell me that there's going to be thousands and tens of thousands and possibly millions of people that are going to want to write your book, because us humans, as unique and individual and as different as we all are, we all share so many amazing similarities. And so, like Deadwood, I know that Deadwood is a carpenter, works on houses, doing drywall and putting up sheetrock and doing stuff like that, working on cars a little bit. He would be surprised at how many people would be interested potentially in reading a book. And he could intertwine a little bit of his life in there, talk about his dogs, and come up with a book that is maybe helpful to people who are carpenters that maybe want to get into construction, so on and so forth. And like I said, you could do that with almost anything. So if you're sitting out there today and you are thinking about a book that you would enjoy writing, but you're like, don't think anybody would read it, quit thinking like that, man. That's the devil getting in there, trying to keep your blessings in life from being there. Once again, I'm not saying that you got to write a book. There's a million different ways to go out there and create, passive income. But a book is a fantastic way because you really get to express yourself on paper. And so often you can really just help people just through your own life. And sorry again, I'm going back over here. So I want to brag on my wife a little bit. My wife put this book together called Held While Becoming. You Were Never Alone in the Search. And a lot of this, this is her copy of it. So that's why it says not for resale there. But Held While Becoming, You Were Never Alone in the Search by Varnell. And if we look at the back of it, it says there are seasons in life when life looks steady on the outside, yet something inside remains unsettled. You carry gratitude and longing at the same time. You pray, but the answers stretch longer than you expected. You keep moving forward, yet quietly wonder if you are falling behind. Beneath the routines and responsibilities, a deeper question lingers. What if the search was never about fixing yourself? What if you were never lost at all? In Held While Becoming, Varnell reflects on the quiet work of spiritual formation, the restlessness that we rarely name, the waiting that feels like a detour, the silence that tests our trust, and the longing to belong without performing. With gentle honesty and biblical grounding, she invites you to slow down and notice what has been true all along. God has not been distant in your becoming. He's been present. And this was all just based on, her life and the times where, I've been reading the book, and the times where you're sitting there in your home and everything seemingly is good. Everybody's happy, everybody's healthy, the bills are paid, life is pretty good, but you're sitting there on the couch and it just feels like there's something more, like there's something missing. And I think we can all relate to that. But 100% of this book's inspiration was just my wife and her own personal thoughts and her own personal feelings. And when she first started writing this, I think she probably had a little bit of that, like, who's going to want to read this? And man, I told her, especially as I started reading it, like, this is going to relate to so many people, men and women. But the fact of the matter is, I'm just proud of her for writing it. I've been talking about writing a book, for years. And she wrote this book, over the not too distant past, put it all together, has it just about ready to sell. And, my point is that you just got to do it. My wife didn't know how to write a book. She'd never written a book, and she just figured it out. With ChatGPT, you can ask it so many questions, like, how do you get it all centered? How do you edit it? How do you do this? How do you do that? Like, there's almost nothing in the world nowadays with the information that we have that you can't figure out. So whether you want to create a course, like, I mean, I just did this the other day. I'm going to pull this up and see if it says something similar. Chat GPT, best ways to create passive income. And I guess I should share my screen. So dividend investing. Invest in companies that pay a consistent dividend. Coca-Cola, Procter and Gamble. There's a lot of different stocks that pay a dividend. I've got a friend that has been traveling all over the world since December of 2024, all from dividend stock. He built up a big enough portfolio of dividend stock to where he can travel now. He was from Los Angeles, and he decided they were going to go for about a year. And then, with all of the wars, and then Los Angeles, the homeless problem has just been, it's like an epidemic there. And it's, the smog and this and that. They literally have been traveling all over the world. They've been, I can't even name all of the places: Italy, Turkey, Thailand, Philippines, all over the world, outside of the US, for over a year. And pretty much most of his income is because he built up a dividend producing portfolio. Real estate. But I wanted to get down here to number 3. I knew this was going to show up. AI automated online income. Now you guys can see I did this right in front of you. I didn't put in any real prompt except for best ways to create passive income. So I'm not doing this I didn't make this up to rook you guys into anything, because I am going to talk about Polar. I didn't even know this was going to show up, I promise you. Look at this: AI and automated online income. This is exploding right now and aligns with what you've been talking about. AI trading bots, automated YouTube channels, AI generated content businesses. So I am going to talk a little bit about the AI trading bots before the day is over. But what I really wanted to show you is digital products. Create once, sell forever. Ebooks, that's the other thing. If you don't want to go through all of the learning how to create the actual book, sell ebooks. And just email them out, PDF style, or like digital style, courses, newsletters. And there's so many different places that will give you a platform where you can do this from, and you make the lion's share of the money. Something else that we didn't talk about a whole lot is affiliate marketing. Like, I haven't done it as much myself either, but we got Myron Golden, one of my favorite content creators. He does a Make More Offers challenge. In fact, I think every single one of you watching this would be way, way, way better off if you watched his Make More Offers challenge. It's 5 days, a couple hours a day, usually from about like 10 to noon. You will get a recording of it. But he does it monthly. It's like $99 or $199 if you want the VIP experience. And long story short, he's got an affiliate program where if you get an affiliate link and you share that out with people, anybody that goes and joins the course, he gives away 50%. He also gives away 50% on his books. So I also haven't been doing that, but like this Trash Man to Cash Man, I could put a link in my description, and anytime any of you went and bought this Trash Man to Cash Man, I get 50%. He sells the book for $20. So every time one of you guys went and bought this book, I could make a $10 bill. So I make half, and I didn't have to write it. I didn't have to, publish it. I didn't have to do any of the work, and yet he's willing to give me half. Same thing on his other book. This book here, if I have it here, maybe I don't have it here, but his Boss Man books, the $30 book, same thing. I could have an affiliate link and share that. Doesn't have to be Myron Golden. There's a million different people out there with affiliate programs. I even noticed the other day that Crypto Lifer Sam Price looks like he might have an affiliate program. I was looking at his website, and then you've got number 7 here, which is crypto passive income, higher risk, higher reward, staking, yield farming, nodes, validator rewards. And so I'm doing a little bit of that. I've got, like I was showing you guys yesterday, my Nosana. I've got my Nosana staking. I've got Atom staking in Coinbase and a little bit of Polkadot staking in Coinbase, earning about 15% on Atom. That's not a bad return, especially because it's getting paid out in more Atom tokens. And so when Atom does what it should do eventually someday, we don't know if it's going to be next week, next month, next year, or 5 years. But the next time Atom goes up and does something special, goes to $5, $10, $15, then that 15% becomes exponentially higher. Nodes and validator rewards. I've got, excuse me, man, got something in the back of my throat. Holy smokes. Nodes and validator rewards. I've got my 5 trusted smart chain nodes. I've got my 40 Texit coin miners that are producing tokens. Both of those are down right now, and not looking anywhere near as pretty as I was hoping they would be at this point. But they're still accumulating tokens every single day in the background. Those 40 miners are accumulating tokens, and they're going to do that for the rest of my life and the rest of my kids' life and the rest of my grandkids' life. So those are other ways. But if you're not used to using Chat GPT, then you want to learn. That's another, probably I should have led with this. But on top of figuring out how to create passive income, the most important thing that all of us can be doing, and I'm talking to myself because I use the fact that I'm in my 50s and I'm not super computer literate. I can get around enough to be dangerous, but I need to be spending a half an hour, an hour a day learning AI. AI these days is transformational. It can do so much for you so quickly. Things that used to would have taken you years to accomplish on your own, you can now do in minutes, sometimes seconds. So at the very top of this list, if anybody's been taking notes, you should start to learn how to use AI. And I'm not good at it either, but I want to show you, like right in here, if we, just pick one. Let's say affiliate marketing. So let's go here. When we go down here, let's say, how do I affiliate market effectively? And it's going to tell you, affiliate marketing works, but most people fail because they just drop links instead of building a system that creates trust, captures lead, and converts repeatedly. Here's how to do it effectively, especially for you in crypto and passive income. So see, like my Chat GPT knows me. As you start to use these tools more, they become familiar with who you are and what you do. But it gives you the formula here. I'm not going to go through all of this, but seriously, it tells you what to do, what not to do. And then at the very bottom, if you want, I can build you a high converting funnel, write your email sequence, give you YouTube titles that convert like crazy. Just tell me. So let's do this. Build high level funnel. All right, let's build you a high-level affiliate funnel that's simple, scalable, and designed to turn your traffic into daily commissions and long-term income. I'm going to tailor this specifically for your crypto, passive income, and AI angle. You can obviously use this in any way that you want to use. If you're going to create passive income by teaching people how to fix cars, or teaching people how to cook, or teaching people how, whatever it is that you want to teach people, then it would create different stuff for you. But look, step one, focus on high intent content, people already looking for solutions. That's really important. You want to go after the people that are already looking for solutions. I guarantee you right now, as we speak, there are thousands and thousands and thousands of people sitting on the computer trying to figure out how they can make more money, how they can earn passive income. I mean, guys, let's go to X here. Hashtag passive Oh, it's not showing it. Usually it shows the black screen pops up here. Let me, maybe I got to create a post. Well, I guess it's not doing it anymore. Normally when you type in a hashtag, it'll tell you how many times that has been used. Maybe somebody in the chat can tell me what I'm doing wrong, but I guarantee you, hashtag passive income is been used millions and tens of millions and maybe even hundreds of millions of times as people are looking to do better in their lives financially. So I'm not going to get into any more of this, but you got lead magnets, offer something irresistible. Top 5 passive income AI tools, free PDF. They click on that link and it asks them for their name and their email address and maybe their phone number. And then you got an automated system. AI can do all of this for you. When they click and they ask for that PDF, it shoots them the PDF automatically. You don't have to go in every time somebody requests the PDF and send it to them. Your AI is set up to do that for you. You can literally right now, if I wanted to, I could copy this right here. Watch this, guys. I'm going to show you how easy this is. Top 5. Paste this here and then type in create PDF. Please, because I'm polite even to my so here we go. I'll create this as a lead magnet. So look at this, page 1 cover, page 2 intro, page 3 tool number 1, and so on and so forth. Like, guys, I don't think most of you, including me, understand how cool AI can be. Right there, build you a high level converting funnel. I mean, like, this will do it all for you. You just have to be good at prompting it with the right. You have to be the creator and then tell it what to do. Most people just ask AI a question. They use it like Google. AI is not Google. You should not be coming on here and ask it a question like you would in a Google search engine. With AI, you want to be the one directing the AI and telling it what you want it to do. So enough about that, but I am going to scroll all the way back up here, guys. And I do want to talk about this again. AI and automated online income. This is exploding right now and aligns with what you've been talking about. Examples, AI trading bots. Now, when we talk about Polar, the owner, Felix, is not big on calling it an AI trading bot. It's actually 100 different AI algorithms that work together in tandem. And I don't have some of the previous videos that I've done pulled up to show you how this has grown, but there's probably a few of you that remember this balance here was probably between $400 and $500 a few weeks ago when I showed you initially. So I've got my trading account built up to $1,498. This $201 over in my balance has come in since Friday at 4 p.m. So Friday, 4 p.m., Saturday, Sunday, Monday. It's not quite 4 days. So, that's not like, world beating money, but that's $50 a day. 50 times 30 is 15. And if we go over here to the wallet, and I want to show you guys back here on Friday, I can't even, now I've got pages and pages, 594 of these little payments that have came in. But if I go back one more page here, I think we should do it. Yeah, well, just barely. So you guys may or may not be able to see this on your screen, but that little number right there is $674 on March 20th. So on March 20th, I withdrew $674 from my balance, and then it's built up to another 201, but $674 that I withdrew on Friday from my trading earnings and from my residuals and the passive income. And so I am extremely excited about this platform, and there's still a whole bunch of you that are watching. As far as I know, Dave has never created an account. Nayan has never created an account. Sean, I don't think you've created an account. Crypto Lover 670, I don't think you have created an account, and that's fine. I mean, this might not be for everybody, but guys, like, here is the trading transparency page. These are all of the trades that are happening in real time. And if you're one of those, not pessimists, but if you're a skeptical person, I understand. I saw this and I said, well, that can be so easily faked, and it can be. I'm aware of that. But guys, what Felix has done, the owner of this project and the neuroscientist behind this algorithm and behind the AI software, he's opened up his Binance account, and he'll literally go, you can see here, like 9:38 a.m. Bitcoin trade here, 69, bought in at 69.9 or whatever, and then closed at 69.612 for a little bit of a profit. You can literally take this feed, and he's opened up his Binance account, goes in and types in 9:38.27 a.m. and pulls up the trade inside of his Binance. I've seen him match the trades. I've seen where he's got 5,500 BNB staked in his Binance account, and he has to do over $100 million, I believe, a month in trading volume in order to get the top S9 tier that he has, which is the top trading level inside of Binance, so that he gets the lowest fees. If we click one more thing here on the view details on the trading transparency, we can still see this live trade. We can see that for the last month, it's created about 27% in gains. And if we go to the current week, we're already at 2.21% for this week. Yesterday was a good day, 1.54% that the trading algorithm made. So far today, it's at 0.67%. This is for the day. Once again, if we look at the month, it's 27%. If we look at 3 months, it's 57%. 6 months, 129%. For the year, 566%. And guys, this is where, we talk about the compounding. And let me see if I could pull this up super quick here. Yeah, so I want to show you guys. Is this it here? Yeah. Let me pop this up real quick. So this is a weekly compound interest calculator. So you guys can see inside of my account, I have $1,498. I need to get that topped off and get it up to over 15. But like that $646 withdrawal that you saw me make. And then I didn't show it to you, but I've showed it to you before. But 2 weeks ago, my withdrawal was like about 14, 15, 1600. I forget the exact amount. So that 2100, I would have preferred to have compounded into my account, but I needed money, needed money for life, needed money for bills. This $201, I can literally withdraw that right this second for $2. Go to withdrawal, I've got USDT or USDC, but USDC withdrawal fee, $2. I'm not going to do it, guys, but I just want to show you that it's possible. All I have to do here is hit create withdrawal. And then I would throw my 2-factor authorization code in here, and I would I hit verify, and that $200 is on its way to my MetaMask account. So this money isn't locked up, and that's why I've been able to cash it out. But I regress. What was I trying to remember? What I was coming back here. So I've got this 1498 that is building. I want to top it off to 15, but here's a calculator. So we're going to do 1500. And then on average, this has produced about 22% a month in profit. If you divide 22% by 4.5 weeks, you're looking at a little over 5% a week. And let's just say that I'm on a 60-40 split with the company. So 60% of 5% is 3%. So we're going to just say that I'm getting paid 3% a week on my money. Let's just say that I compound it for 1 year. All I do is take the weekly 3% and put it back into my trading account, and it compounds. I have turned 1,500 into 6,700. Now, when I get to 2,000 in my account, I pay a lower performance fee, so I could actually bump this up to 3.25%, which doesn't seem like much, but watch the difference with just 0.25%. It goes from $69 to $7,900 with just 0.25%. When I get my account built up to 8,000, I can take this up to 3.5%. And now we're looking at $8,900. But I digress. Let's go back to 3. And let's just say that I let this thing compound for 3 years. $1,500 turns into $150,000, guys. And once again, I know that all of you are sitting out there saying, well, it's never going to work. It's not going to be around in 3 years. And you know what? I said all of those things too. And then I did massive research and due diligence. I got to see the back end. I got to see the trades actually happening on I was, Tim. I was able to get all of that. But if you scroll down, guys, you don't have to leave your money in there for 3 years. You literally, but it shows, this calculator shows you. So the first week you would make $45. Your ending balance would be $14.45. Second week you make $46.35 and you're at $18.91. And I just want to scroll down and show you guys 6 months in would be 24 weeks, right? So week 24, you've already almost doubled your weekly income. It went from 45 on week 1. Now you're at 88, and you are double on week 25. It's at 91. Now, if we go out to a year at week 52, you're now up to $6,700 in your account, and you're making $200 a week in passive income. All you literally do every week when you get over here, there's going to be a pop-up box in the middle of your screen that says, do you want to add your earnings to your trading side, or do you want to add them to your balance side? And all you do is click add to trading. Or you can literally go to the trading page of your website and you can just toggle this switch to auto reinvest. I don't have this toggled right now because, as I said, I've been making withdrawals and paying bills and living my life. But you can just, if you want to set it and forget it, you can toggle this over to reinvest like that, and boom, your earnings every Friday at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time will just go right into your trading account. So let's disable auto reinvest. We don't want that on, at least on our account. And then we're going to go back over to this compound calculator here. But you can see now over the course of 3 years, look at this on, so what, 52 of 104 weeks would be 2 years. So somewhere in between, what's a half of 52 and 26 is 60, 78. So week 78, a year and a half in, you've got 14 grand and you're making $438 a week. It's not a fortune, but you're talking about $1,800 a month in passive. And if you go out here to week 102, you're at $29,000 in your account and $890. What is 40 times 20? 800. In a year and a half, 2 years, you have created a passive income that pays more than somebody working 40 hours a week for $20 an hour. Now, I'm not saying that you should quit your job at that point, even if this has replaced your income, but I'm just showing you the power of compounding, guys. You get all the way out here to the very end of this. At 156 weeks, 3 years, you've got $146,000 in your total ending balance is 150 grand. But look at this, you are up to $4,300 a week. You're making $16,000+ a month in passive. Let's go back here. We know we've been talking about 5 grand, right? 5 grand. So that would be $1,250 a week. Here we are, week 14. You've got 42 grand in here, and it's making you $1,270 a week in passive income. It's replaced a $5,000 income. Now, real quick, folks, I do want to say that past performance does not equal future results. As the account grows, as more people are continuing to jump in, it might be harder for the AI to generate 22%. At the same time, there's also things in place. Like Binance isn't going to be the only exchange that we're trading on. Right now, the fund is grown all the way from 2 million up to about 150 million that Felix did before he took it public. So for the last 2 years, it was just him and Binance. He wasn't offering this service and allowing other people to participate in the fund. He grew 2 million to over 100 million, just compounding it over the course of 2 years. But once again, my point is like there's been some months that have been as low as 8 or 9%. There's been some months that have been as good as 39%. So it's going to fluctuate. You're not going to make this exact number every single week. 1 week, it could be double. 1 week, it could be almost nothing. There was 1 week where we made just under 1% for the week, which sounds horrible. But even look at that. 1% a week is 52% a year. So even in the down times, it's not the worst thing in the world. Like the 9% month is not that bad. 9% times, 12 weeks is what? 9 times 12 is 108. So you got 108% if it was just 9% a month. But I just want to make it very clear here, guys, and I'm not trying to sell you on anything. I only want you to do something like this after you do your own due diligence. I would love to get you excited enough for you to really go take a very close look at this yourself and do your own research, do your own due diligence, get on a Zoom. Let me know. I can get you invited onto a live Zoom where you can actually see Felix on the Zoom, hear him talk about the things, hear him talk. They're very transparent. They talk about what some of the upcoming issues could be and how they're working to fix them and stuff. So they understand that just because it's a well-oiled machine and running beautifully today, that doesn't mean that 6 months or a year from now that there can't be some hiccups and some things that they have to get situated. So just take this with a grain of salt. But for most of us, not all of us, but for most of us, if we put 1,500 into this and it didn't work, it's not going to bankrupt us. We're going to still make our mortgage payments. We're still going to get our cars paid for. Our life will go on. But if you could turn 1,500 into, 150,000 over the next 3 years, how would having 150 grand in your bank account, how would that feel? How would that change your life? And then, guys, I mean, once again, this was based on a $1,500 investment with no additional weekly investment. What if you threw another $50 a week at this? That's not much, right? Another $200 a month, $50 a week. Calculate returns. An extra $50 a week for 3 years doubles it all the way up to $316,000. At which point in time, you've got a total amount invested of $9,300. And once again, I mean, you can do it with whatever number makes sense to you. $100, $1,500 once, and $100 a week, $482,000 in 3 years. And okay, enough of that. I want to switch gears here. And one of the things that I want to show you is you do not have to deposit all of your own money. I want to go over here and make this very clear. If we go over to my wallet, you can see my deposits right here. So we're going to go to the second page. A bunch of these are expired because I was trying to just check out the system when I first got started. So actually, it doesn't look like there's anything on that page. So we'll go here. Right here, $21.94, $100. That was me depositing $100. $28.42, I deposited another $111. I'm not sure where this $1.30 came from, but then you can see here that I did another $125 here, and I know that there's one more like $100 deposit in here. Maybe I missed it here on page 2. It's not showing there. I'm trying to figure out why it's not showing. Maybe if I go here to just deposits, maybe that'll pull it up. So here we go. This is better. So I deposited $125 on January 30th, and then $130 on February 1st, $100 on February 6th, and $111 on February 9th, and $100 on February 14th. So how much is that? $100, $211, $311, $440, $540, about $565, guys. And as I just showed you, I've got $1,500 in my account. I've got $200 over here. And if we go back over to my wallet and we go to the rewards page, all of these rewards are for helping people create their account and help them make the money. So here you can see I made $44.50. That was when, there's a guy named Joel. All of you know Joel. Joel has been on this channel a million times. Joel deposited a couple $1,000s into the account. It wasn't a fortune, but I made $44. So the way that I've gotten to $1,500 in my account, even though I've only personally deposited, is I've been compounding a lot of these rewards. So every single time anybody deposits money into the platform, I make a little bit. You guys, once again, I mean, you can see here, a lot of times it's not very much. Nope, that's the wrong. We want to go to wallet. Look at this, guys. 1 cent, 2 cent, 80 cents, 10 cents, 50 cents, $5.50, $16.50, 14 cents, 56 cents, $7, $21, 10 cents, 39 cents, $4.45, $17.80, $11.13, $44.50, $2.23, $8.92. Look at this. This is all just since the 22nd, though, guys. 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. Like I said, I've already got a list here. It says one of 25 pages, 594 times in less than 2 months, I have made some type of transaction. And then once again, I want to show you guys this now, the referral side. Some of you may never do the referral side, and that's okay. But I would like you to highly consider asking yourself, why wouldn't you share this with somebody? when you can show them this compound calculator. I mean, I know I'm all over the place, but even if you got somebody broke, what if you had somebody that could only put in 25 bucks and they could only afford 25 bucks a week? 85 grand they have in 3 years. And they would have deposited at 25 initial and 25 a week. They would have done $3,925 total. Over the course of 3 years, they'd have 85 grand. Like, you can play with this. Seriously, guys, I've gotten sick with this thing. So I figured out that at Dutch Bros, on top of all of the money I was spending on the coffee, I usually tip 20%. So I usually tip about $3. So watch this, guys. This is sick. This is crazy. $3. $3 a week. Compounded for 3 years. 10 grand. $10,000 that I could build up in 3 years by just taking the money that I'm tipping the barista at Dutch Bros. And don't get me wrong, I'm not going to become a cheapskate and quit tipping, but I'm just telling you, like, little amounts of money can become bigger amounts of money. If you start off even with a little bit more, like, it's $100 minimum. So let's say you started off with $100 minimum instead of $3, and then you only put in $3 a week. 20 grand. 20 grand. Just that additional $97 in the beginning creates a whole nother $10,000. But my point is, if you're in a first world country, just about everybody can afford $100. And even if you don't ever do anything a week, $100 compounded for the 3 years, you just put in 100 and forget about it for 3 years. That's 10 grand. But for just a lousy $3 a week, you can double that. Who do you know that could put in $10 a week, $10 a week, $40 a month, $43,000? Anyways, I'm going to get off of that calculator, man. I could sit here and play with this calculator all day. But my point is, if you go over here and you take a closer look here, you saw my first deposit was on January 30th. So we got February 30th, March 30th. In less than 2 months, I've referred 23 direct people to this program. There are a handful of them that have not deposited any funds yet. So I think I would say that 15 or 16 of them are active. But those 15 or 16 people have referred, you can't see it here, but I've referred 23 direct, and there's 134 now. I know that some of you were watching me a few weeks ago when I showed this number at 78 people instead of 134. And I was at like 19 people personally. So in the last 3 weeks, I've shared this with and had 3 or 4 people join, but we've gone from 78 to 134. What is that? Just under 50 people. So that means that the other 40 people-ish, I'm not even responsible for. And like, look at how this branches out, guys. So I want to really share this with you. So I've got some people that are serious about making some extra money. So my buddy William has shared this with 12 people. They haven't started sharing it, but he's got 12 people that he shared this with. Look at this gentleman here. Lonnie Walsh has shared this with 14 people and has 52. But look at this. Jennifer Hommel shared it with 6 and then has 12 more. This guy right here, crazy. Look at this. Steve Walsh only brought in 3 people, but he's got 19 people because this guy is a killer. Ken Cardwell here has brought in 2 people, but he brought in Angie, and Angie is a killer. She's got 20 people, basically, 7 people directly underneath her. And then look, this is all going down levels. So like Lonnie was on my first level, and Ken was, his dad, Steve, was on my second level. And then Ken is on my third level. And then Angie is on my 4th level. And look here, Angie 7 direct, and then 13 below. So look at this. We got Jonathan here, who's got 1. Then you got RWM here, who's got four people direct. 4 people here that he's referred, but then this person here's referred 1. So like, it has taken a life of its own, guys. I couldn't stop it if I wanted to. You think I could go to this 120 something people that are here, that are in this organization outside of me? the 119 people, that 121 people I'm not responsible for? You think I could go to those 121 and tell them, hey, quit sharing? I don't want you to share anymore. My team is as big as I want it to be. I don't want to make any more money. Quit sharing. You think they would? Absolutely not. This thing, you watch. You're going to watch this. This is going to be 154, and then it's going to be 200, and then it's going to be 400, 500, and give me 3, 4, 5, 6 months, and this probably will be up into the thousands, potentially tens of thousands. So once again, guys, you don't have to share, but once you start seeing this compound and you start seeing your money go up, like my buddy Bill here, pop back over here to Bill. William Volpentis, you see this where it shows $26,300? That's how much money he has compounding in his account. And the reason that he did that was because he originally started off with $8,000. And I told him, hey, you need to get to 25 grand. Your performance fees are going to be lower. You're going to make more money. He's like, no, $8,000 is a pretty significant investment. I'm good. I'm just going to let it grow for a little while. Well, then we had a 5% week. And then we had a 7.5% week. And then we had a over 6% week. And he's like, heck with this. It's going to take me 4 or 5 months, 6 months to compound up to 25 grand. I'm just going to do it. And he literally invested the other 17 grand to get himself up to 28,000. And guess what? He's making on his 28,000, he's making on average over $1,000 a week on his 26,000. It was 25 grand, and then it went up. It's 26 now because he made $1,166, I think it was, last week on his 26 grand. So literally, guys, we were talking, becoming a digital millionaire. We're talking about the ability to create a $5,000 a month income, and how some people have to have $1 million invested, at 6% to make 60 grand a year. My buddy Bill, instead of having $1 million invested, has 25 grand, and that is growing. So last but not least here, not last, but I do want to share a couple of things. Crypto Lover 670, if you're still with us, he said, please share. They're going to pop up. Please share your thoughts about the Texas Coin project. So, Crypto Lover, I am kind of sitting on the sidelines, waiting to see what happens. One of the good things about a United States created cryptocurrency is that it's just that it's in the United States. It's helping America. It's, like grassroots. The problem with the United States cryptocurrency, though, is the SEC and all of the state laws and all of the stuff. Like, if Texas Coin was stationed outside the country of the United States, Texas wouldn't have been able to do what it did, which, for those of you that haven't heard, Texas Coin issued, or the state of Texas issued a cease and desist to Texas Coin, which basically just means that as of right now, you cannot purchase miners, and the affiliate program, you cannot sell other people miners. The miners are still working. The mines are still there. The tokens are getting deposited into our wallet every day. But basically the affiliate program, the networking side, got shut down. Well, that could never happen if it wasn't based in Texas. So long story short, Bobby Gray, the owner and founder of Texas Coin, has he's hired one of the best law firms in the world about this type of litigation. They have covered many cases for people. This is no different than when, like, the SEC sued Ripple. Ripple won the lawsuit. Ripple proved that there was no wrongdoing, as I believe Texas Coin will, but it's still a big pain in the butt. Costs millions of dollars. Things are on hold for months at a time. And it's just one of the risks when you're investing that happens. And it could have happened to a lot of different cryptos that are American based. But anyways, Crypto Lover, I'm cautiously optimistic, but I do think it's going to take several months, maybe even longer, for them to get this case situated. And until the case is actually handled, there's probably not going to be a whole lot of love in the Texas coin price. So I'm cautiously optimistic. I'm glad that I have my miners. They're building up tokens every single day. I do think that there will come a day where that case is going to get thrown out. Could be sooner than later. I'm hoping. It sounds like they've got a court date in August. I'm hoping that they can get it thrown out by then. If that thing gets thrown out in August, I think we will see a big surge in the Texas coin price. So I'm hopefully optimistic, but I'm 1000% switching gears and going in a different direction. And that direction right now is Polar Tensor. I am still, like, I bought Nosana and staked it. I'm still picking up a little bit of Atom. I'm still doing a few things, but I am way more excited about building my Polar Tensor account and helping other people build theirs than I am about anything else. So 90% of my energy is going into this platform. And then the other 10% of my energy is spread out in the other things. So I hope that answers your question. Tim says, sorry, I'm late. Brad, you might have said this already, but were you able to get the referral link you were setting up for your wife last week fixed? Yeah, I believe that got situated. And so let's do that again here real quick, folks, because I think this is super valuable and super important. So if we go here to So this is a site that I made for somebody else, but it's okay. We're going to copy that link. Everybody that joins Polar Tensor, especially on my team, if you sign up with my team, I'm going to help you do this immediately. So one of the first things we're going to do is we're going to get you your own landing page. So this is for somebody that joined underneath me and I helped them get their landing page. You're going to have a landing page that looks exactly like this, that you can share with people. So if you do want to help people join, this is how you would do it. You would share this with them. There's videos they can watch. There is an excerpt here on Felix. There is a presentation here. You can look at the referral rewards plan, and then you can get started. So if I hit the get started button, that takes me, what is going on with this thing? Same thing that happened last week is so weird. Let me do something else here real fast, guys. That is kind of crazy. So this is mine. I swear mine, I've never had any problem with it going on to the next page. So we're there. You can see here, this is mine. Still not ready to enroll. Shoot me a message. I'll get all of your questions answered. My phone number, Brad Varnell here. And then we're going to click enroll now. And that's what it's supposed to do. I'm not quite sure why Teddy's didn't work, if I did something wrong, but you literally go right here and can fill out this screen. But I want to show you guys how easy this is. If you decide you want a website, all you do is scroll down a little bit further here and you click on want your own referral site. So the first thing I'm going to do here, I'm going to take this and do two things. So Dave P, Nana, Sean, all of you guys, go create a free account. It doesn't cost any money to create a free account. So take this link and go check out my landing page. Scroll down here to create, get started with Polar Tensor today. Create your free account. You can see here is literally your email and your password. When you go to the next page, it asks you for your name and I think your birth date. That's it. You don't have to give up your address. You don't have to give up your social. You don't have to give up all of that information here. Just enroll. It takes about 30 seconds. But this link right here. But now I want to show you guys, once you have enrolled, you're going to have your own username. And so what I'm going to do here, man, this is going longer than I wanted it to, but I want to pop in and log into my wife's account real quick. So this is going to take a quick second. Bear with me. But this is why this is my coffee cup today. I was telling you guys that I figured out how much money Dutch Bros was costing me. And so what I'm going to do with my wife, you can see my wife here, referral, none. And I'm not planning on referring anybody. There might be a person or two by accident, but I'm not going to be referring people through my wife's account like I did mine. It's mostly to grow her account. So, and then back here to this compound, I figured out that my wife and I were spending at least, we're probably spending between 100, 125 a week on coffee. So I did a smaller amount. So what I said was, okay, the first week was a big week. We spent $100 on coffee. So we're going to do an initial investment of $100. And then we're going to take our weekly investment all the way down to $75. And once again, we're going to look at 3%. And we'll probably move that as the account grows. But I'm going to show you guys this account on a weekly basis too, so you can see in real time what is happening. So we're going to calculate returns. My coffee habit cost me $259,000 over the course of the next 3 years. So I went and we got a coffee pot, and now we're making coffee at home. And now we're taking, where did it go? There we go. Now we're taking the money from coffee and we're putting that in here. If you go over here to the wallet, I'll show you. We literally deposit. So I deposited $115 in the beginning, which turned into $103.50 because there's a 10% licensing fee. And then I just added, in earnings, she would go to rewards here. So we can see here that she's had, a couple dollars here, $2.85, $4.10, $3.48. Those are her earnings. It doesn't seem like much, but it's all compounding. And then I added right here, March 20th, ended up being $76.50. But on every Friday, I'm going to add another $75 to her account. And we're going to watch this $100 initial investment and $75 a week. We're going to watch that together turn into $259,000 over the course of the next 3 years. But while we're here, especially for you, Tim, if we go over here to referral, this is her referral link. I'm going to copy that. Go back over to the marketing page, which was, where is the marketing page? There we go. And then we're going to scroll down and we're going to create a website. And all of you guys can do this in about 30 seconds. So you click Get My Site. Her Polar username here is going to be at, what was it again? I guess I think that was the problem, Tim, is instead of copying the whole link, you just need to paste your username. So let's try that, D Varnell. So we're going to go here at D Varnell. Display name, I'm just going to put my name here because she's just letting me actively work with this. I'm not going to mess with the phone number or the email address on this one. You can put your phone number or your email address here. And then when they're scrolling down the page, you'll see here, you'll see here, this shoot me a message, and they can call you or email you if they have questions. That's totally optional. You don't have to put a phone number or an email in here. I like people to be able to get in touch with me, so I did. But for this one, I'm not gonna. I'm just gonna put her username and her display name and hit create my site. And look at that, guys, just that fast. So watch this. This is the beauty of this, guys. The compound interest calculator that I was showing you, she now has one that is specific to her. Why is that important? Well, I want to show you guys again. So I'm going to copy this. Hopefully that copied. And then we're going to go over here. We're going to paste it. Yep. Boom. You can see here, D Varnell. Watch this. Somebody goes like this. They say, okay, Brad's telling me $100 and $10 a week and 3%. for a year, calculated returns. Man, it's $1,600 that I made in a year on $100 and $10 a week. And then guess what? You see that? Blink, 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 blink. Watch our free videos to learn more. Watch what happens when I do that. It takes me to Deanna's landing page. Watch as we scroll down here. Boom. Personal website of Brad Varnell, because I put my name here. But guess what? If they hit get ready, get started with Tenser today, enroll now. I do not understand why I keep getting this 404 error message from these guys. It worked like clockwork on the compound interest calculator. Took me right there. Took me here to the free videos to learn more. Her username is right there. And then why is the enroll now not wanting to work? That drives me crazy. I'm going to go back over here to this page though, because you also have this AI trading quiz, which is pretty amazing. You can share this AI trading quiz with people. It is definitely, that's working just fine. And now they can take this free quiz, and I'm just going to, answer the questions without going through. They just, you can go take a peek at this. I'll share this with you guys too, so that you can go take this quiz or see what people would be looking at. At the end of the quiz, it's going to say something different here, but it's going to, it says you're at the starting line, and that's a great place to be. Based on your answers, you're still in research mode. Our AI trading system may be a great fit for you down the road. The best thing you can do right now is get educated. And then there's a watch the free videos. They click the watch the free videos. You can see my wife's username here. And it goes right back to this landing page where they can look at all of the information. And then they should be able to click enroll now. I don't know why we're getting that 404. I would still recommend, Tim, go to my referral link. Hey, Dave, if you can you see if you can create one of these landing pages real quick and see if you get that 404 message? Should not be coming up 404. Like on my page when I just did this a minute ago here, this is where'd mine go? X out of some of this stuff. So this was mine here. Why does mine say referral? So I copy link and then I paste over here. And then when we click on my join now, it's going right here to the registration page. I do not understand why that is not happening with my wife's. That's weird. So if you guys could test that out for me, maybe create accounts and see if it'll work, that would be great. In the meantime, Jeff Atkins, one of the leaders of the company, and actually the gentleman that shared the company with me, is the one that created these tools. He created this test. He created this compound calculator and got this all set up so that we could personalize it to ourselves. I'll find out from him what I am doing wrong and why we're getting that 404 message. But guys, we've been going for hour and 15, 20 minutes. I want to let you go enjoy your Tuesdays. But look at this, like the back office updates. So remember here, a minute ago, we were looking at my account and it was showing 134 people on my team. Dave says that he created his account. So watch here. I go into my dashboard and hit referral. And boom, we're at 135. That's because Dave just joined. And it shows here 24 now instead of 23. So everything updates in real time. If Dave decides to fund his account, which just in case you do decide you want to fund your account, Dave, all you got to do is go in here to your dashboard, click wallet. If you are on a cell phone, There's going to be 3 lines next to your initials here. Like you got my initials in this circle here. There'll be 3 lines. You click on those 3 lines and a drop down box will pop up. One of them will say wallet. You want to be on deposit, and then you can deposit Bitcoin, Ethereum, USDT on the ERC network, USDC on the ERC network, or USDT on the Tron TRC20 network, or Solana. So you just pick out what you want to do. I like USDC because I just buy it on Coinbase. Type in the amount that you want to deposit. I recommend a minimum of 115 so that you're left with over 100 after the licensing fee. But you literally just hit create deposit. Our computer seems to want to be running slow. Come on, let's go. Usually when you do that, it literally updates in about half a second. Let me refresh my screen here and start over. So USDC 115, create deposit. There we go. Boom. It'll shoot you a barcode and it'll shoot you the address here. Gives you 2 hours before this times out to make your deposit. You are certainly welcome, Tim. Thank you. Appreciate you very much. And yeah, so everything is going good. Tim has had an account for several weeks now, compounding it and growing it. So Tim, if you're still on the live stream here, would you throw in the chat what your thoughts are so far? Have you liked what you've seen? Is your money compounding nicely? Are you liking the returns? What do you think about Polar? And give us the real deal, the truth. You don't have to sugarcoat it for me. I really would love your honest opinion. I'm not sure if Tim is still here, but I'll give it another quick second, and we'll get ready to wrap this up. Hey, Dave, have a great day, man. Appreciate you being here. Take care. And it looks like Tim probably jumped off too. I know that this ran a little bit long, so I'll let you guys all get out of here. But Tim created an account probably about a month ago and has been just letting his funds compound, and his account is growing nicely. So I see, Nayan, you're going to create an account? Get that account created. You're not obligated to fund it, but at least get it created so that you can see the back office and you can go in and check out this trading tab and view the details. You can see the live trading feed. You'll be able to see what's going on. Like I said, the current week, so we're up to 2.28% profit just this week. It was 6.2% profit last week. Sean Cryptoon, good morning again. But go get that account created, guys. Should be a link in the description, but right here in the chat, this should take you directly to the registration page like it did for Dave. So with that, folks, God bless you all. Have a fantastic rest of your week, and we will see you again soon. Bye-bye for now.